Hello students. So now we have moved to the second video of this chapter 18th century political formation, and in the previous video you had seen how 18th century was a century of decline, political decline in India. That means भारत में political instability बढ़ गई because of the decline of Mughal Empire. Mughal Empire became weak after the death of Aurangzeb, and the later Mughals were very weak. इट रिजल्टेड इनटू द डिक्लाइन ऑफ मुगल एम्पायर. तो जो मुगल एम्पायर पूरे इंडिया को अपने कंट्रोल में करके बैठा था, उसके वीक होते ही एक एक करके उसके सारे प्रोविंसेस उससे अलग होने लगे. And in the previous video, we had discussed how the attack of Nadir Shah in 1739 also was a big blow for the crumbling Mughal Empire. तो गिरता हुआ मुगल एम्पायर एक और चोट नहीं बर्दाश्त कर पाता. इसकी वजह से वट वी आर गोइंग टू सी, वी आर गोइंग टू सी द एमरजेंस ऑफ न्यू स्टेट्स. इसका मतलब जब एक बड़ा एम्पायर नीचे गिरेगा तो नए नए स्टेट्स उससे टूट कर अलग होंगे. और पहला हमने जो स्टेट्स डिस्कस किए थे, दैट वाज द ओल्ड प्रोविंसेस, द ओल्ड मुगल प्रोविंसेस. ये ओल्ड मुगल प्रोविंसेस में आपने क्या डिस्कस किया था? यू केम टू नो अबाउट हैदराबाद, Bengal and Awadh. And all these, the later Nawabs or kings of Hyderabad, Bengal and Awadh, they were initially the Subedars or Nayab Subedar, Deputy Subedar of these regions under the Mughals. Mughals ने ही उनको इन regions का सूबेदार अपॉइंट किया. लेकिन जब उन्होंने देखा कि मुगल एम्परर्स वीक हैं एंड दे वर बिजी फाइटिंग for the throne, for the Mughal throne, then they declared their independence. And now we are moving to the next part. After these old Mughal provinces who declared their independence, we are moving to the Watan Jagirs of the Rajputs. So Rajputs were the loyal officials of Mughals. Particularly under Akbar. Akbar's policy made a friendly relationship with Rajput. But the Aurangzeb and his fanatic, his conservative policies made the Rajputs against him. And after his death, the Rajput rulers started revolting against the Mughal rulers. And two rulers we are going to read. First one is the ruler of Jodhpur, Raja Ajit Singh. So Raja Ajit Singh was involved in the कॉन्स्पिरेसी अगेंस्ट द फर्रुख सियार, जिसका बाद में मर्डर भी किया गया और उसकी आंखें भी फोड़ी गई. पहले ही वॉज मेड ब्लाइंड एंड लेटर ऑन ही वॉज स्ट्रेंगल्ड टू द डेथ. तो इस तरह से जोधपुर का राजा अजीत सिंह ही कैप्चर्ड द पावर एंड इन बाय गेटिंग द सपोर्ट फ्रॉम द लेटर मुगल एम्परर, he even became the governor of Gujarat. And the next Rajput ruler who had a powerful influence in the Mughal court was the Savai Raja Jai Singh of Amber. So he was the ruler of Amber, had a high official position in the Mughal court. He was even made the Subedar, governor of Malwa, the central part of India, and Agra as well. So he had a powerful position in the Mughal court. He was the person who established the famous pink city Jaipur and converted it his capital. And he was also known for his mathematical skills and astronomical inclination. That's why he established the Jantar Mantar in the 5 cities, different cities of India, and the famous one are the Jaipur's Jantar Mantar. Then in Delhi we can see this place Jantar Mantar. In Varanasi also he established it, and in Mathura as well as in Ujjain. So these two kingdoms, Amber and Jodhpur, they were powerful in the 18th century under their rulers, and the Rajputs under their Watan Jagirs were able to run their kingdom successfully and even had the influence over the neighboring areas. The next kingdom which gained power in 18th century was the Sikh kingdom. So Guru Gobind Singh laid the foundation of Khalsa Panth in 1699, and later Banda Bahadur, with the power or with the joint efforts of Khalsa Panth, he was able to establish a political institution or Sikh kingdom which was spreading between the area of river Yamuna and river Satluj. He even minted the coins in the name of Guru Gobind Singh as well as Guru Nanak Dev also. But 1715 he was arrested, and in 1716 he was killed by the Mughal emperor Farrukhsiyar. But one person who really collected all the 12 missiles of Sikhs together was Maharaja Ranjit Singh. So, and he was the person who was able to establish a very powerful Sikh kingdom in the northwestern part of India. So the Sikhs, they were divided into the various missals or jathas. That means the Sikh soldiers in various groups were divided, and these 12 missals were brought together by Maharaja Ranjit Singh, and then he was able to establish a powerful kingdom. So this was the powerful kingdom established by Maharaja Ranjit Singh. After Maharaja Ranjit Singh, this kingdom that one more time started declining, and then finally that was captured in 1840s by the English East India Company. You have to understand all these kingdoms one after another were defeated by English East India Company, and finally they took over the area or charge of all these kingdoms. Now students, you have to understand, in the 18th century when the power of Mughals were declining, the kingdom which replaced this power was the Maratha kingdom, and the person who laid the foundation of this kingdom was Shivaji Maharaj. Shivaji even established his powerful kingdom during the time of Aurangzeb, and he did so with the supports of the warrior peasants and pastoralist family of Maharashtra known as Deshmukhs. But after the death of Shivaji, the power was transferred from the Shivaji family to the Chitpavan Brahman family known as Peshwas. A Peshwa, who were Peshwas? Peshwas were prime ministers. Like Peshwas were appointed by Shivaji in his court. Peshwa was considered the head of the all ministers. Later on, these Peshwas became the real power center of the Maratha kingdoms. And three Peshwas you must know, you must come to know, or you must know about them are: first one is the Balaji Vishwanath, who made the Maratha kingdom very powerful even in the neighboring areas. Then the Bajirao. You must have seen Bajirao Mastani, the Bajirao, the real warrior, and it is said that he fought 40 wars in his life and never got defeated. And then the last powerful Peshwa was Balaji Bajirao, under whose leadership the Maratha kingdom spread even to the boundaries or borders of Afghanistan on one side, and up to the Odisha and West Bengal on the other side. So Maratha kingdom became really very powerful in the entire India in the 18th century, and they started raising two taxes from the people. One was called Chauth, which was 25% of the land tax, and another one was called Sardesh Mukhi, 9 to 10% of the tax. So Marathas although became powerful, but unfortunately they were defeated by various powers, and due to the rivalries of various neighboring states, like Marathas, they often used to raid the neighboring states and looted the wealth of these states. As a result, they became enemy of Maratha kingdom. And when in 1761, when Maratha had to fight with the Ahmad Shah Abdali in the third battle of Panipat, nobody was there to support them, and as a result they were defeated. This battle was a big blow to the Maratha power. A lot of loss of human beings as well as the wealth they had to suffer, and the power, it was a real blow to the powers of the Marathas. And later on, the English East India Company defeated Marathas in Anglo-Maratha wars, and their powers were completely declined or destroyed. So the now next kingdom which we are going to read about is the Jat kingdom. It was a small kingdom which was established by a pastoralist community known as the Jats. You must know, some of you must have belonged to the same community. This Jat kingdom was established, or the most powerful or the first important powerful king who established the Jat kingdom was the Raja Chudaman. The where these Jat community or this pastoralist community was ruling, that is the area just nearby of Delhi and its neighboring areas, neighboring regions, the nearby Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan, and Haryana's area, where the Jats came in a dominating position just beside the Mughal Empire's central point, that is Delhi, which was the capital for them. The Jats were able to establish their kingdom. So the control of the Jats increased in the region between Delhi and Agra, and they even established some of the important cities like Panipat and Ballabgarh, which became important centers for the trades. But another powerful Jat kingdom was established by Raja Surajmal in the region of Bharatpur. That was the Bharatpur kingdom, and this power of Bharatpur kingdom was extended by his son Jawahar Singh, who had a large army, more than 50,000 soldiers. So with this, we have covered this entire chapter, and we have seen how the power of Mughals declined in the 18th century, which gave rise to many smaller kingdoms. This last topic given in your bracket is the French Revolution, because during the same time period in 1789 in France, a revolt occurred by the people of France against the monarchy, and they changed the monarchy system, and it was the beginning of democracy in France, that we will discuss in class 10th or 9th. Now the chapter is over. I hope you understood this topic, and now thank you for watching the video. Have a nice day.